Is it true that Gooseworx said when episode 2 of the amazing digital circus will be released? A lot of people are looking forward to the new episode, and I am one of them. But so far, neither Gooseworx glitch themselves are giving us much information. Before I start talking about the release date for episode 2, I want to ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel because I worked very hard on it, and let's go. First of all, let's talk about the well-publicized glitch on Twitter, because it's the basis for everything that follows. In short, the developers have assured us that there will be a lot of new things in 2024, including a lot of digital circus. On the one hand, this is good news, but if you think about it, the release might take place in autumn 2024, which is not so nice to hear. But I want to reassure you that we will not have to wait that long. I would like to say that the developers themselves understand how great the success of the new project has been, so they do not talk about hard work on drones or other projects. They recently released the first teaser, Pomni, sleeping on a strange clock. The site may indicate that teasers will be released along with trailers for upcoming episodes. This suggests that the next episode will be released soon, as the release date should be mentioned in the trailers. However, the trailers are unclear, as seen in the latest trailer for episodes 7 and 8 of their killer drone show. They say that the series will be released in spring 2024. It looks like the series is still in production, which is why they gave such a wide release date. Now let's set a release date for our new series, and then talk about the events that could happen in it. Just want to say, here comes the new series. Hurry up and run to watch it. The creators can certainly do that, but they respect their audience for that. Is it possible to release a new series in a week? My personal opinion is yes, because there is a huge possibility that the episode itself is already finished. I'm so sure of this for one simple reason. 1. It's been a little over 3 months, which is a very impressive amount of time to create an episode. And some of you might argue that it took about a year from the start of the pilot episode of Digital Circus to its release, and that's the way it's going to be now. But consider a few factors. At the time, Gooseworx was working on several projects at once, and now, in the midst of the success of their main project, Digital Circus, I'm sure Gooseworx has put all their energy into working on this huge project. So I'm boldly declaring that we're definitely not going to wait a whole year to see the new series, which promises to be really exciting, but we'll talk about that later. Also, I'm not sure if the final color correction of the second episode is complete. That's why I can safely say that it's a little more or a little less than a month until the long-awaited release. I really hope that in this time, the creators will have time to solve all the side issues and finally please us with new content. Based on all of the above, I can assure you that the release of the new episode will take place between February 14th and February 28th, 2024. But if that doesn't happen, the release deadline will be March. Because if we delay and release at least in April, we won't see that kind of excitement. And everyone wants to see this awesome digital series become truly legendary in the world of animation. The release date is set, and now it's time to talk about the events we might see in the new episode. Gooseworx announced a long time ago that each episode would focus on a specific character, and since the pilot episode was about Pompeii, the next one will be about someone else. Considering the writers have to make a series about someone equally popular, I'm sure we'll learn more about Jax. We remember Jax as a joker, but in the worst sense of the word, a bit tough and uncompromising. In episode 2, Jax will come across as an anti-hero who doesn't care about the lives and mental health of the other circus performers. I think he's going to bully everyone, but he'll eventually realize that he can't do that to some of the characters, and he'll start to mend his ways. It won't take long though, because it's hard to change when you've been stuck in one way of thinking all your life. After all his so-called jokes, I have a feeling that Jax will be left alone in the next episode because few people will want to interact with him in the context of being alone. Jax is willing to go to great lengths to get attention, so this could either make him reclusive or, conversely, strengthen him. Given that Jax is essentially a supporting character, it's unlikely that his story will take any major twists and turns. And there are a few things that could happen to Jax in the new episode, and I want to tell you about each of them. Believe me, they will surprise you. Jax will likely continue to cause trouble for other characters, and while the footage from the Twitter post showed us some of the events of the first episode, even here you can see Jax preparing a gift for Ragatha, and his gift is truly amazing. He couldn't think of anything smarter than giving Ragatha a millipede, something Ragatha feared more than anything, and that's what the opening of the new episode will be about. But it's after this situation that all the other characters will realize that Jax is the real deal. Because it's one thing to make jokes and sorcery, but it's another to deliberately put someone in a state of panic by manipulating their fears. After realizing this, all the other characters just turn their backs on Jax, leaving him all alone. Later in the episode, we'll see him try to apologize or solve the problem in some other way. As much as Jax wants to seem so cool, he's not even interested in socializing with the others. As time goes on, we'll see changes in his room, which will look more and more like Kaufmo's room. And he won't find Pomni's words about leaving so funny, because finding a way out will be the only way out for Jax. He will have the courage to go to Pomni and tell her that he trusts her, and will do his best to help her find a way out. Now I want to talk about Klinger, who, despite appearances, is one of the most important characters in the circus. In one of my videos, I revealed that Klinger is the circus character with the longest tenure of any current actor, not counting Kane, of course. In the pilot episode, we saw a lot of him starting to lose his mind. I think that trend will continue in the second episode. I think both the immediate and prolonged death of a loved one gives Klinger a fuller understanding of the world around him. King, I think, realized a long time ago that there is a way out of this circus by using the very exits that appear from time to time in the show. On the one hand, since I've already mentioned that Pomni and Kane are administrators, we can assume that they appear at their discretion. Now let's continue talking about episode 2. Here with the animation, they would definitely have to redo everything to make it fit better. But imagine if they finished the whole series today? I bet they wouldn't release it anyway. And that's for one reason. The animation is so ridiculously expensive that they can't release it now, or even in February, because all YouTube channels make a lot less money in those months, because advertisers spend most of their money in December to make money for Christmas. Sales, and then in January they drop hard, so Glitch would have to F. I want to discuss the potential delay of Part 2. There is a chance that the delay is intentional. Glitch and the team at Amazing Digital Circus did not anticipate the success of the show and did not plan accordingly. Currently, they are completing the first season of Murder Drones and developing the pilot episode of their new show, The Gaslight District. Animation is particularly time-consuming because animators often have to start from scratch. For instance, in Amazing Digital Circus, they had to design all of their characters and then learn how to animate them effectively. The Meet the Circus members video was their challenge. Animating the different characters looked a little different than the first time because it was their first attempt. The team is currently developing characters for the pilot episode of The Gaslight District and learning to do so efficiently. This is taking up a lot of their time. Additionally, they are learning how to animate the new characters. For example, Jax remains tense throughout the scene, as evidenced by his clenched teeth. Animating speaking characters can be a unique challenge, especially when it comes to characters like Kane, whose speech is difficult to animate, or Klinger, who lacks a mouth. However, the animators were able to successfully design and execute the characters' movements despite these obstacles. Delays can negatively impact audience retention. However, this can also be good news, as Glitch will want to continue the show as soon as possible. What do you guys think about this one? Really interesting video, and I'm glad you watched the whole thing. We are waiting for The Amazing Digital Circus. Write your opinion in the comments. I'd really like to read it. That concludes our video. Thanks for watching. Good luck.